Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. One person away. One person away. One person away. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hopefully you're well. Hopefully your day is going absolutely incredible. I hope that everything that you've been sowing is preparing you and entering you into your harvest. Every good seed that you've been sowing is preparing you for your harvest. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Let me know where you're chiming in from. This is going to be a very quick message, but I just had to come on and share some thoughts, share my personal experiences. Let me repeat that again, operative word, personal experience. Personal experiences on this topic, this subject matter, and I will cloak it and wrap it around something that is a current event that has millions of people around the world excited, enthralled, and celebrating. Welcome to the broadcast. Good to see each and every one of you. As you can tell, I'm in my university on wheels. A lot of times people ask successful people what type of car they drive or what they drive, and the real question that ought to be raised is what drives you? Not what you drive, but what drives you. The amateurs and rookies ask what you drive. The professionals ask what drives you. Hey, welcome to the broadcast. Welcome. Hey, everybody, how you guys doing? It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. Do me a favor as you're logging on. I'm about to dive into this quickly, but I need you to share this broadcast because I think it's so important, especially at this time in this climate, to always stay with, and for some of you, go back to the basic principles. The basic principles, the foundation, the fundamentals of a thing. Doesn't matter how things evolve. It doesn't matter how things change over time. There will always be the foundation and the fundamentals and the truth of a thing. And so I came on just to share real quickly something from a concept perspective as well as from a truth paradigm that will assist many of you as you are sojourning through your experiences of building, developing, and growing. As I jump into this, I need you to do me a favor, please, ma'am, please, sir, wherever you are. Share this message, share this broadcast, put it on your wall, tag some people in it. Those individuals that you know are dreamers, those that you know are efforting, those that you know are still in the process. There can be no promise without the process, and oftentimes we believe we're buried in the dark when we're really planted in the soil. To the untrained eye, planting a seed and burying one seems like the same thing. It's going through the same process, but here's the reality. The reality of planting versus burying is when you bury something, there's no expectation that it will live again. When you bury something, you cover it up with no expectation that whatever you've buried will ever come back to life. When you have planted, there is a supreme confidence, not in you, but in the principle of sowing and reaping. See, when I plant, I am not planting with the confidence that it will produce or that there will be a harvest. I am not sowing a seed with the confidence that I'm going to do all the work. I sow a seed, or I sow seeds with the expectation and the confidence that the law, I hope you're hearing me, that the law of sowing and reaping must come to pass. What am I saying to you today? You're one person away from a major explosion. This is a topic that right now, several of my colleagues, many of them that have done extremely well in business, some that have done some amazing things. It's a topic that I believe for the last several years people have debated on both sides, and I tend to look at all perspectives with an open mind, just to really understand the paradigm that people come from. And what I have learned over my career and over my life is that, listen to me clearly, the turtle and the giraffe can occupy the same space, but have a completely different perspective. Your perspective is based upon the heights in which you've ascended. Did you hear me? Your perspective is based upon the heights in which you've ascended, meaning the turtle can only give you his perspective from the level in which he sees, whereas the giraffe, because he's at a higher paradigm, because he's ascended to a higher place, he gives you his perspective and his paradigm from his point of view. I want to give you, listen to me, the multi-million-dollar point of view through the direct sales network marketing perspective. I want to give you, come on, the $80,000 in a month perspective or view in terms of a paradigm. When I say you're always one person away from a major explosion, I'm not talking about being lucky. Some argue that when you make that statement, you're paraphrasing or framing for people that they're going to luck up into somebody coming into their business. They're going to luck up into something magnificent happening. They're going to luck up to, it's like they're playing the lottery. And that's not the paradigm or the perspective or the point of view I unpack this phrase, statement, and principle from. When I talk about, listen to me, you ought to be sharing. When I talk about you're one person away from a major explosion happening into your business, let me use life experience to really hammer in, drill down, and highlight this point. What I mean specifically is that luck, L-U-C-K, I want you to write this down, never forget it. I heard this over a decade ago. L, labor. U, under. C, correct. K, knowledge. Labor under correct knowledge. So when I talk about you're one person away, I mean not that you're going to get lucky, not that somebody's going to magically or mysteriously show up in your business, not that you're going to be sitting on the couch and somebody's going to jump into your organization and you're going to start making 6 figures a year or 7 figures a year. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say luck, I'm saying that you are going to labor under correct knowledge for a period of time. That period of time may be a year. It may be 2 years. It may be 5 years. But for a period, Jared, how long is the period? The period oh, shucks, I just heard something. The period depends on how long the sentence is. Shucks. Not every sentence is the same. Some of you are building a sentence. Others are building a paragraph. Depending on how long my sentence is, will determine the amount or the time of my period. And so when you labor under correct knowledge, labor, if you want to transform your business, you want to transform, listen, your body, you've got to labor under correct knowledge. If you're trying to trim fat, if you're attempting to build muscle, there's certain exercises, there's a certain lifestyle that you must labor under, and there's a correctness of knowledge you have to have from someone that has a higher point of view or perspective that can shed light and knowledge so that you can buy in and apply it. And so when I talk about one person away, I'm talking about my own experience in life. The first person, after I had been laboring under the correct knowledge, I had been going to the events, I had been going to the seminars, I had been prospecting and meeting new people. This is long before social media and attraction marketing. I'm talking about when you had to go to Walmart and you had to go to Denny's and IHOP, you had to go to the mall and you had to go to the gas station and extend your hand and talk to people and be nervous. Your hands would get sweaty, your butt cheeks would get tight because you were nervous and scared to approach and talk to people about something that mattered. But you did it because that's what the correct knowledge was given to you to do. How many of you know what I'm talking about when you approach somebody and say, you look familiar? And they say, and that's your starting line of your conversation. You look familiar, or man, I love your shoes, or I love your belt, or I love your earrings. And that's your conversation starter. And from there, you begin to matriculate through the process of explanation and connection. And you said, oh man, it was good to meet you. And then you meet that person, you get exchange number. And guess what? You would do that for a period of time. I remember not being good at doing that. And I I met a man that was good at doing it, and I would hang around him because, listen to me, proximity is power. When you get around successful people, what happens is it demystifies the success. It demystifies that they're not some great Greek god or goddess that's doing something that cannot be duplicated. Are you listening to me? So because you demystify the success, it becomes a little bit more congruent for you that if she can do that, and I've seen him do that, I've seen her do that, and they're making 50 grand a month or 100 grand a month. If I do what they're doing, all of it, the totality of it, I can have the result. Now here's what I'll say in closing with this point. After a period of time, you reap what you sow. You just don't always reap it where you've sown it. Would you post that somewhere? You reap what you sow, you just may not always reap it where you've sown it. Why? Because if God changes where you are before he changes who you are, you'll go back to where you were. Man, I'm preaching better than you're responding. If God changes where you are before he changes who you are, you'll go back to where you were. And so when I say you're one person away from a major explosion, it's going to happen. It has to happen. It's the law of sowing and reaping, not getting lucky, not having sponsor placement, not having your upline or somebody place somebody below you. Forget all that. Put that to the side. That's not what I'm talking about. Listen to your boy. I'm giving you perspective from multiple millions of dollars, not given but earned in direct sales network marketing. What am I saying to you? It's a law. It doesn't matter your color. It doesn't matter your belief in terms of your political belief. It doesn't matter your gender. None of that. It's a law. It has to happen. Now let me say this to you. What takes place with this process is you grow through this process of sowing. First person that I attracted. Write this down too. You can't start attracting until you become attractive. You cannot start attracting until you become attractive. It simply means that as I keep growing as an individual, not by what I'm just reading, but by what I'm applying. You can read 100 books, but until you apply one principle from one chapter, you haven't grown. I don't care how many books you've read. It doesn't matter to me your soliloquy of speech. It doesn't matter how great you can string along sophisticated sentences to impress silly, stupid people. I'm talking about growing through the process of it all. Whose report will you believe? I'm talking about taking your, oh my God, I'm about to say something. I don't know if you're ready. Taking your eyesight and suspending it so you can tap into your insight. Your eyesight allows you to look. Your insight allows you to see. And when you're looking at the back office and you're looking at the reports and it doesn't show, it doesn't seem like it's growing, it doesn't seem like things are happening. See, now you have to tap into your insight to believe in this principle that I'm one person away. Not that I'm going to luck up. No, I'm going to attract the right person through my sowing. I'm sowing time. I'm sowing the right words. I'm sowing the right emotions, the right feeling. I'm sowing. And because I'm sowing the principles, I will participate in the promises. Because I'm sowing the principles, I'm going to participate in the promises. And so now, listen to me. Listen to me. The first person I attracted, this is long before we started making 6 figures a year. This is long before we started earning multiple 6 figures. This is long before we earned millions of dollars, multiple millions of dollars. First person I attracted after I became attractive was Portia Mitchell. Oh my God. I finally found someone that helped me multiply. Are you listening? In this business, 1 + 1 is not 2. 1 + 1 is 11. If one can put 1,000 to flight, 2 can put 10,000 to flight. When I found Portia Mitchell, I didn't find her because I was looking. Shucks. I found her because I was seeking. Seek and ye shall find. I found her because I had become attractive and we were vibrating and resonating at the same level. And when she decided to partner with me, she matched my work ethic. She matched my belief system. And watch this. We were both broke at the same time. But what is broken can be fixed. We were broke, but we weren't poor. And so we were walking together. We weren't married. We weren't dating. We were working and running together. But I was one person away. I had never earned $100,000 in a year in my career at that point. And I had been doing this for 6 years. For 6 years. I had been going to the meetings. For 6 years, I had been prospecting. For 6 years, I had been showing the plan. For 6 years, I had been driving around town showing the plan. For 6 years, I had been developing and going to the events and investing money that I didn't have and robbing Peter to pay Paul and hijacking Peter, Paul, Mary, and Martha. And then here's what happened. The right person shows up. And I go from what I couldn't do in 6 years, I accomplished within the next 9 months. What I hadn't been able to do in 6 years, in the next 9 months, I accomplished. One person away. That was just the first person. And then what happens is we talk about building it brick by brick. We talk about if you build it, they will come. See, once you start getting into that momentum process, then you start attracting more people. And it goes from glory to glory. It goes from person to person. You go from builder to builder. You go from, watch this, you go from place to place. You go from person to person. You go from community to community, from country to country, from continents to continents. And before you look up, it's gone from 6 figures to multiple 6 figures to 7 figures. And everybody says, oh, you were lucky. Oh, it was timing. Oh, it was your mentor. No, it was the principle of sowing and reaping, which translates into the statement I made. You're always one person away from a major explosion happening in your business. If you believe what I'm talking about right now, I need you to share this message on your wall. I need you to post it on your wall. Why? Because the right one person is looking. I need you to share it on your wall because you're going to step into the circumference of an environment that's going to allow you to become attractive so you can start attracting. I want you to share it on your wall for that young lady that's still sewing. I want you to share it on your wall because that man that's saying, I'm about to give up, needs to hear from someone that has sown and is still sowing. If you're not sowing, you're not growing. If you stop sowing, you stop growing. Everybody woke up today in amazement, some enthralled from the finals last night. The Toronto Raptors franchise been around for 24 years without accomplishing their goal. That means for 24 years they've been sowing. Last year they made a decision. The leader of the organization made a decision that we've got to shift some things. We've gotten to the apex of where we're going to be with the current staff and the current players. Watch this, I'm closing. And I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to risk doing something that seems stupid and foolish and undermines what we're attempting to do. And he says, I'm going to trade away a winning coach and a winning player for a potential championship coach and championship player. And so Mr. Ajiri, he trades for Kawhi Leonard. I told you you're one person away. Shucks, you ain't hearing me. You're one person away from a championship. One person away. So he trades for him and people ridicule him just like they're going to ridicule you. They say, that's stupid. Why would you do that? You were so close. Why did you leave that company? You were so close. Why did you decide to go recruit other people? You were so close. Why? And he says, who we have is not who we need. I need that one person I'm looking for the one person. I'm doing my job. I'm sowing my seeds, but I'm aware. I'm aware of what I need. And so he makes a decision. And my question for you is, have you made a decision? Makes a decision, and Kawhi Leonard shows up, and it disrupts the entire flow of what they had been doing, because here's what takes place. When the right person shows up, oh, I'm ministering to me. When the right person shows up, it disrupts your flow. So what you are comfortable and accustomed to doing in your ministry and in your business, when the right person shows up, he or she will disrupt everything. That's why they call us a disruptor. We disrupt the average and the mundane and the trite and the normal. We disrupt it because we're showing up to take you to places you've never been, and it becomes uncomfortable. And Kawhi comes with a spirit of championship and excellence, and shows them what it looks like to win, shows them what it feels like to win, shows them the experience of leadership and how to be even keel when you're up and when you're down, when the business is up and when the business is down, when the volume is up and when the volume is down, when you make a great play and when you make a bad decision. Baby, it's not always the devil, it's sometimes our decisions and one person showing up. What they have not been able to accomplish in 24 years. Just like that, all manners of things start taking place. The universe conspires, to make the principle come true for you. Kevin Durant ruptures his Achilles. Klay Thompson tears his ACL, and we don't wish anything bad on any one of those brothers. We pray for a speedy recovery. But all manners of things that would seem like it was crazy starts happening, and you hit a jump shot and it bounces 4 times before it goes in, and Joel Embiid, all manners of things start happening to conspire to make the principle come alive. You're one person away. You are one person away. Did you hear me? You are one person away. They doubted Kawhi. They said, you're lying. He says, no, I'm hurt. I feel what you can't see. I feel what your machines can't pick up. I'm hurting. And you got to be careful of people that want to discard you and discredit you when you're hurting, even when you're a champion. And he says, you leave me alone. That's all right. I'm gonna find the place. I'm gonna find the people that are assigned to me in this season. I am the one person, but I'm assigned to the right people. And just like that, champion. And what am I saying to you? I want you to share this. You preachers, you pastors, you business people, you network marketers, I want you to share this. You're one person away from winning your championship. You keep sowing, you keep growing, and the right person is going to be attracted to your environment. That's it. God bless you. God bless your families. And God most certainly bless your dreams. Did you get something from this? If you did, share it. Come on, share it. I know it sounded a little preachy, but I wasn't preaching, I was teaching. If you caught those principles of sowing, you don't have to do nothing else but keep on sowing. I love you, but God loves you more.